shoulder blade is the 3-point. Okay? So what I wanted to try to explain, if you come this side, I wanted just to, the feeding is about the saddle on the horseback, and there's a perfect, an exact space where the saddle fits.
Okay.
And this space, you find out when you find the end of the spatula of the horse. Scapula, sorry. I have a hard time with this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say spatula.
Spatula. Okay, we'll do
Okay,
spatula.
so you don't want the point of the tree, okay,
Yeah.
digging on the shoulder,
Yeah.
because then he's not gonna move.
Yeah.
And when he moves, the scapula goes a little like that. It moves like, you know, like us.
Right.
So the 3-point has to be 2 inches behind the end of the scapula, which is here. So that will be where the saddle would start. And here you have the last rib. Okay, if you feel the last rib here, okay. If you go on a straight line, okay. So the saddle is has to be from here to here. That's where the whole weight, and that's where the panel has to be totally in contact to distribute the weight of the rider in every square inch. Okay. If the saddle go further, here are the kidneys. The horse is gonna hate that.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the ways to know if the saddle is too long or not is that.
Okay.
So what is important as well is that if you saddle your horse on your own, you can do it on your own. But if somebody saddles for you, you need to make sure that this, which is the 3-point, is never here. So, because a lot of people put the saddle much forward. That's a given. Okay, and when you go to barns where, you know, they saddle for you, this guy never had like a training, okay, and it goes like that. Look where this is, right here. So normally it would come like this. It should be okay because it's natural. So if you see this, okay, look where it is. It's right here. I'm gonna do my finger. It's here. The scapula ended here. So you have your 2 fingers in between. So it means that he's happy, okay? Now, regarding the padding being touched with the part of the back, here it's almost perfect. It could be better if this was a little lower, so then, but it's still good. It's kind of, you know, not too tight. It's there with full contact. Then if you pass your hand from here under the panel all the way, you're gonna feel if there's a gap or no gap, or it's contact. So pass your hand. Okay?
You want to see if the whole thing touches.
Yeah. Go with your hand from the beginning all the way to the end. You want to feel that there's a contact all the way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to check this on both sides because no horse is exactly symmetric. Okay? And then again, regarding the gullet, the first thing you look on the saddle if it's wide, so you know the spine is going to be with no pressure. Okay, so this saddle is doing what it's supposed to do. Regarding the balance, which is this little area here, you need to make sure that this area looks, you know, horizontal to an imaginary line. And normally the pommel should be a little higher than the canto, a little higher than the pommel. Okay? So again, this saddle and the others and the other, they feed the horse properly. There will be some things to change, okay? But nothing that you cannot ride on this saddle. Okay, it's well balanced. The horse is not gonna complain about anything, and they have their body language to complain if the saddle doesn't fit. Okay?
But you're going to lose points because it doesn't match the bridle.
You can have it stay.
It doesn't that, isn't that
Doesn't
a
matter.
purchasing
Right.
So
opportunity.
it's Arkins. It's never been oiled.
Yeah, you
There's
can
a
just-
brand new saddle.
Yeah, this saddle is brand new, so
But it's not going to darken to the same color as this.
I'll
Yeah,
show
it
you.
will.
I'll show you one that is
It will.
already. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you leave it out in the rain,
No. No.
Oh, good. This is good. Yeah. So I remember that one Pessoa that I said didn't connect, the panel didn't connect with him. The first one she tried back at your house and I ran my hand over it. I said, this doesn't
Okay,
quite
you can hold stand
touch
on
it.
it.
Remember that?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And so that answers the question. I said, I'm not sure if that's okay. No, it wasn't okay.
You guys should explain that girth.
Oh, with it. Yes.
This girth is, some people call it a humane girth. We call it a pulley system. I mean, it is a nice girth, and that's the reason why it's humane for the horse. He doesn't seem to have the girthy problem. But
Somebody
there's
called?
lots of horses out there
He
that are.
actually does get girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of horses out there that are super girthy and they don't even like to be groomed or touched back here. A girth like this is nice because all the pressure is in this little DV apparatus. Instead of, you don't have that, you have to put your body weight into them and it's like bullying the horse kind of. So we like to use this because we don't know the horses we're fitting.
Right.
So we better get the nicest girth
Right,
to
right.
fit with them. Also, the other reason why I like to work with this girth, even as a schooling girth, is you don't have to put the girth in the same holes. They don't have to be there. You could go one up in the front, one down in the back, or vice versa,
Why
or
would you
two
do
up
that?
in the front. It makes the buckles a little bit spread apart, so there's not that whole bulk.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Changes
like,
the angle too.
like here were two
Yeah.
up
So
and
then
one
she
in the
doesn't have
back.
the buckles right underneath it. Oh, okay, I like that.
The girthy aspect we had with him though was also the sores.
The
wasn't
sores from the leather.
it?
yeah.
So we're going to have to be careful about that.
It won't happen today. He's too
Wet.
furry and he's not going to get all sweaty with that. It's the sweat and the rubbing, when it's hot and he gets sweaty and he has no fur in the summer.
First and
That's
second.
why I did that.
And it was interesting, the position of where the buckles are seems different than on the other saddles.
It may be
it seems a little
because
further
that
A forward
it's
flap.
cut different. Yeah, the flap is cut
Okay, it's an
differently.
optical thing.
The skirt is cut differently.
But also where the girth comes.
It's farther back.
Jean-Pierre, tell her about where the girth should be coming.
You want to have a hand,
Yeah,
a good hand between the armpit
right.
and the girth line. Okay.
And we've had to do that with him because he gets sores otherwise.
And that's the reason you have 3 straps. Well, obviously, if one breaks, you still have 2, but I mean, each strap is like an inch wide. So if you feel that the girth is too close, you can go
go further
second
back.
and third. It's gonna go back an inch. If you feel that the girth is too much in the back, you go second and first, like I did now,
Right.
and there's an inch difference.